Hello, viewers. Once again, it's me, Ewaenruwa Nomaren from It Pays to Fear God. This is where we learn about God, His beloved Son, Jesus Christ, and their kingdom purpose, the three most important subjects that we can ever learn about, talk about, or discuss in the entire Holy Bible if we read John chapter 17, verse 3. This video is another episode of Verse Breakdown. And the verse that I have prepared to talk to you viewers about today is 1 John chapter 4 verse 11, where John the Apostle had stated, "Beloved, if God so loved us, we ought also to love one another." However, before I get into the main theme of the verse, which is for us to treat our neighbors properly and for us to love one another, why did John the Apostle say God loved us? How does God love us? What is God's love? Well, we can understand this through the story of parents, how parents raise their children. Parents raise their children with love because babies and children, they don't know the future, they don't know how the world works, and they can never benefit you in that light. They cannot serve you, they cannot help you raise them. Therefore, it is only from your love that you can weather out all the persecution in the sense of their crying and their stubbornness and stuff. It is your love that allows you to watch all of that happen from when they're 1 to when they're 5 to when they're 10, before they become 20, 25, 30, and then they grow up and then they become people who can not only fend for themselves, but when you parents are old, they can come back, give you checks, donate, help you live your lives, support you, etc. That is love. And similarly, God loves us because we don't really know where the world is going. Many of us pretend that we do, but we don't. And God knows the future and therefore helps to bring humanity towards that. We've never asked him for it. We never asked for the ransom sacrifice. We never asked for him to set up his kingdom. We never asked him to do anything apart from to give us cars and money and fame and riches, etc. It's all we've asked God to do. But God knows that that's not really what humanity needs. If we read Jeremiah chapter 10 verse 23, the ways of a man are not of himself. We do not understand where we're going. It's also Proverbs chapter 20 verse 24. And it is by God's love that he can show us the way and move humanity in that direction. Abraham was no different. When God came to Abraham, Abraham didn't know what was going on. This is only the first time that he ever met God. So you can't say, oh, it was because Abraham loved God that God loved Abraham. No, it was because God just loved Abraham and, the fathers that would come from him, Abraham, Isaac, and Jacob. If we read Deuteronomy chapter 4 from verses 37 to 40 and chapter 7 from verses 6 to 9. That is how God's love works toward humanity. See also Isaiah chapter 49 verse 15. And because of the love that God shows to people, we as his true children who now have an understanding on how God works and stuff, also have to show that love to others who may not have been as fortunate as us to whether be converted or to be born in the faith. And we do this by living our lives in such a way so that people who are living in iniquity will not feel comfortable living in their iniquity, but will want to be motivated to make the switch. If we read Matthew chapter 5 verse 16, "Let your light so shine before men, that they may see your good works and glorify your Father which is in heaven." But the opposite was described in Romans chapter 14 verse 15, which we have a whole separate verse breakdown on. "If thy brother be grieved with thy meat, now thou walkest not charitably. Destroy not thy brother whom Christ died." Jesus Christ died for everybody, as Christians all know, and we cannot be destroying their opportunities to wash themselves and be clean if we desire chapter 1 verse 16, by making such people feel comfortable. No, we should let persecution come if we Matthew chapter 5 from verses 10 to 12, so that those people, when punishment starts coming, they can use us as reference points to come back to God so that they can be like us who are true, faithful children to God. And I choose to talk no further on discussing the verse 1 John chapter 4 verse 11, which once again states, "Beloved, if God so loved us, we ought also to love one another." Hope you enjoyed this video. Hope you learned something most importantly. Please try to subscribe, share this video, and click the notification bell if you have not already to be notified when we make future inspiring verse breakdowns just like this one. Thank you for listening.